Hi there, my name is Sam, and this video is about revising and editing. So when we think about polishing your assignments, why do you think it matters? I have a lot of students who tell me they never revise or edit their assignments, and it is really important. So when you're thinking about polishing your assignments, making them better, it's part of the writing process, and it helps your ideas be better understood. The more clearly you're writing, the more concise you are, the easier it is for your professor to understand that you understand the content you're writing about. So this in turn improves your academic success and helps you get better grades. So here are some general tips to help you as you're doing your revising and editing. So you should wait at least a few hours before you start revising or editing. This gives your brain a chance to kind of reset, and you can look at the essay or report or whatever work you're doing with a fresh set of eyes. Sometimes if you do it too soon, your brain will fill in the blanks of what it knows should be there, and you miss being able to correct that error in your work. Also, students find it really helpful to print out assignments. Sometimes seeing your assignment from a different perspective, on paper instead of on the screen, can help you see errors that you missed when you were looking at it on the screen. In a similar fashion, you could read your assignment out loud, and hearing it out loud can sometimes help you pick up on things that you missed when you were reading it on the screen. Finally, you can get help from one of your fellow classmates or from someone at the library. We're happy to help you see what you might be missing when you're editing and revising your work. It's important when you're getting help from a classmate to make sure that they aren't actually doing any of the edits for you, but they're just letting you know what could be improved in your work or what might be unclear. The two stages to the polishing process are revision and editing and proofreading. Sometimes students confuse these. They think that they're the same. So sometimes students might start right away with doing small editing and proofreading. But actually, before you get into any nitty-gritty proofreading and editing, you want to make sure you're doing larger revision. You want to make sure that you're looking out for missing content, unclear content, poor organization or paragraph structure, missing or unclear topic sentences, and that your thesis statement is the best that it could be. It's also important that you look at your rubric. So your rubrics show you how your marks are distributed. So you want to make sure that you're looking at your rubric and at your assignment to see if you have all of the content that you're supposed to have in the format that you're supposed to have it, and that you haven't missed anything. How your work is presented is often given a small amount of marks on the rubric. So thinking about, APA format, your essay structure, does your professor want it double-spaced? It's a shame when students miss out on these small marks that are easy to get if you just follow the exact instructions that your professors laid out in the rubric. When you're thinking about proofreading, these are the smaller items that you're looking at editing. So when you're thinking about proofreading, you're thinking about things like word choice, sentence structure, punctuation, the format and citation check, looking for those small items to make sure that you have completed everything as necessary. So when we think about the wrong words, I'm going to give you a few tips. So sometimes you choose a word and it just doesn't mean what you think it does. If you're not 100% sure, you definitely should look it up. Some words are easier to confuse than others because there are similar looking words. So for example, on this list, you have famous and infamous, infer and imply, endemic, epidemic, pandemic. If you're not sure exactly what they mean, definitely look up the word to make sure you're using the right one. When you're thinking about your academic essays, you should be using formal words. So always choose academic words where possible. So when I'm looking at students' papers, for example, sometimes students will write kids instead of children. But you should always be choosing children, the more formal word, whenever possible. So make sure you look at your papers and think about the tone that you're using. Is it a formal tone? Another thing that can happen is students can be confused by homophones, words that sound the same but have different spellings and meanings. So common homophones are there, and there, whether and whether, effect and effect, and to and to. These all sound the same but have different spellings and meanings. It's easy to write one of these instead of another because in your mind it sounds the same. And because they're actually words, sometimes they're missed in software like Microsoft Word's spell check or Grammarly. So it is really important that you go through these carefully and make sure that you've used the right words. As students are improving their work, sometimes they like to use synonyms. So they look at a thesaurus and they find synonyms and then they use them. However, although this is great, sometimes students choose words that don't actually mean the same as the original word they had intended to use but wanted to find an alternate word for. So sometimes they find something that isn't quite right and has a slightly different meaning. So it's important for you to watch out for this as well when you're looking to see if you've used the correct words. So other tips for word choice, if you're thinking about trying to expand your vocabulary, look at what kinds of words are used in the journal articles in your field and in your textbooks. Look for this shared language that you can describe the information in your field with. You also want to look at using a variety of words, especially for your transition words. So we have handouts on our library website and pages where you can go to find examples of different kinds of transition words, for instance, that mean the same thing. So instead of using also every time you're writing a sentence that has an additional thought, you might want to use other transition words like in addition or similarly. And this way, you're adding variety to your writing. So word choice can help your writing be more interesting and more accurate. So it is important that you choose these proper words. Another thing you can watch out for when you're doing your proofreading is sentence structure. So consider if you've used run-on sentences or sentence fragments. Consider if you have proper subject-verb agreement. And consider if you've used parallelism, especially when you're making lists. I have other videos on this channel about these items, so please feel free to watch these videos to learn more about them. Remember that writing is a process. It's important that you think about your writing before you begin with brainstorming and outlining. And after you do your actual writing, it's not done yet. You should practice revision and you should also practice editing. So you want to make sure you're looking to add in any content that might be missing, you're looking to correct unclear content, and you're looking to fix any small items like any grammar issues, sentence structure, any punctuation issues that might prevent the reader from understanding what you're writing. So set some time aside after you finish what you're writing to do some revision and editing. If you would like help with this or to see in your writing some errors that you might be making, you're welcome to make an appointment. If you have any questions, we're happy to help you. Please reach out anytime. For more information, check out our other videos or go to the library website. You can find our links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.